Are we live? Am I talking to some business owners out there? Am I talking to some key decision makers out there for those got side hustles? Am I talking to you? Because this video is for you. This video is for those that are out there making things happen and want to know about this vanity metrics, about social media. They want to know what's up, and I want to talk to you. If you're not one of those people, then look, I'm going to tell you right now, this video isn't for you. Thank you for joining, but this video isn't for you. So I want to break down something that's really important, because I think when it comes to social media, we get into something that's kind of, I say, deadly in the aspect of we believe the things that we shouldn't be believing in, and that's a problem that we can't have in business, especially for us business owners that are like solopreneurs, those business owners that are just getting started and they're looking for like the proof in the pudding, if you will, the making sure it's a minimal viable product. So I want to talk to those people right now that are in the position to where they're using what they can, their vanity metrics, as a metric to put them on maybe the trajectory they think they need to be on. So I wanted to do a live real fast just to let folks know that vanity metrics is a diabolical tool if you are using only them. And what I mean by vanity metrics, let's break this down. Vanity metrics are the things that are front and center of when we are using social media. So this could be, I'm just going to say followers, okay, subscribers, whatever that looks like. When we talking about likes or hearts, views, impressions, anything that shows numbers on any of the content we put out. And when we have this content that we put out, we are looking for a response as, do people like it? Like what I put out there, is it something people like? When that's the wrong thing. That's the wrong mindset. That is the wrong expectation. And that is the wrong mentality. And as a business, that is the wrong thing to do, to put out content expecting people to come back to say, we love it. I want to tell you what you should be looking for, but I want to set this up to where you understand the content that you put out, whatever you put out. I know we all say, oh, I want to go viral. You can't serve millions of people. I guarantee you're not in the position. If you're watching this, you're not in the position to serve millions of people, because if millions of people came to you and say, I want what you are offering because I saw your video, I saw your post, I think you're amazing and this is great and I want more, can you give me more? You cannot provide that. That's vanity metrics. Vanity metrics will allow our brain to get so big, our ego to be so inflated to where we think we're so important and we are able to be that person. I get we want popularity. I get that we want to feel important. I get that we see people on the red carpet and we see that fame and that attention, and we think that then translates to money, but it does not. The diabolical truth about vanity metrics is that the vanity metrics, at the end of the day, what I wanted to tell you is it will not lead to sales. Sales are the number one way, starting with content. Yes, you need content, but if you're not getting sales, there's a problem. There's a fundamental problem with how you're going about it, because yes, we love the oh, I see a comment. One said, we love when people blow and gas us up, right? Hey, tell me all the things I want to hear, but are you listening to the things you need to hear, instead of just taking in the vanity metrics of, look at all my followers, look at all my subscribers, look at all my likes. Ooh, people love me. And that's not how things go in the world of business and why content is being created. So let me get to that. So I want to say what's up to my with Beard Nye, the drum guy. He said, are you the one that was live the other day? I do go live every Friday and sometimes throughout the week. So I am that person that does go live at least once a week. So what's up? I'm here to drop hopefully diamonds to help you in your business. I'm a marketing consultant and love helping people. I got Kyle O'Berry to say hi. What's up, Kyle? You said you check and see what your sharpest knife was, but I had to go work and get to hear the answer. My sharpest knife only carry. I do carry a knife, but uh, this is my Benchmade. Only I don't need to do that. All right, so let's back to the point. Thank you for the comments. If you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. So let me get to the vanity metrics part, because this is where it's super important, that I have learned throughout the years when it comes to helping business owners or key decision makers. And sometimes that one person make a decision on what marketing looks like. And so when you are using vanity metrics, it is going to be a diabolical death for you. And it might be a slow death because you're believing the wrong things are important. What you use social media for is for the top of the funnel. The top of the funnel is for you to get people's attention, and you get them aware of every single thing that you do. You get them to understand who you are, because we don't buy things we don't trust, and definitely we don't buy things that we don't like. So you provide this content so people can get to know you. And when they get to know you, they're like, I'm more interested in what they do. What do they do? That's your content. Stop using your content likes for the absolute way to get what you need to be. That's not it. So when you're talking about the likes and followers that you have, that's not the route you want to go, because then you're going to think, oh, they want me. No, you are supposed to put them on point of your products and services. Here's where we as marketers, I have to put myself in that category, but I'm not at that category at that high level to where they are telling you to go to their system that is going to serve you because you have a problem that you need to be that needs to get solved, and their solution is to fit your problem, but that doesn't fit all categories. We are not all making millions and millions of dollars. We all don't have 20, 30, 40, 50 employees. You'd be amazed at the numbers of so many businesses that only serve themselves. That's the majority of small businesses. Over 90% of the businesses in this country, in the United States, are small businesses. It is not corporate. The corporate as having the thousands of employees, okay? So when we're talking about creating content, the content that you're creating is for someone, and this is where you know the content you're putting out is fire when they get on the phone and they reach out to you to say, I saw that. Or you get an email that shows up in your inbox to say, how can I work with you? The content that you're putting out right now, more than likely, is content that you're excited to get a like or a follow, and that's not it. That's not what you want. So this is why the social media, the vanity metrics are telling you lies and making you believe something you don't want to believe. So let me just transition gears here, because I want to tell you a couple of things and then I get off. But I see some comments. Benchmade is a great company. They stand by their products. I love my Benchmade knife, man. Absolutely. My buddy has a 20-year-old Osborne 940. He stripped the screw, cleaning it, and replaced all of its excess. Benchmade's a great company, and that is a perfect example of Benchmade doesn't need to put out a whole lot of content because they make a quality product. People stand behind and know their products is valuable. It's not about, oh, I need to get X amount of likes. That's influencer. That is getting attention. That is for maybe an event or an activity, or for when people don't know about a certain brand and they need to get eyeballs on here to get people to move down their funnel, what we call the AIDA, awareness, interest, desire, and action, to where they can take action. The call to action is for you to either sign up or buy something. It could be both, right? But in this world, we know if you don't open up your wallet or your purse to spend cash or swipe your card, at the end of the day, that's a failure. So let me just say, when it comes to social media, I just want to talk about a couple of things, because in these couple of things, this is where we go down this dark hole. Even I have done it. I am not anywhere saying I am not guilty of this. I am guilty of this. And that's why I wanted to talk to someone out there who needs to hear this. So, number one, this is the dopamine trap, where we as individuals, we are scrolling. You call that the doom scroll, where we're scrolling and scrolling. And I'm looking at my notes over here, and we get addicted to seeing how, like, what likes. Sometimes you might not like something because it doesn't have a lot of likes. We're looking for what has a likes. The algorithm puts these things in front of us because it has already garnered enough attention and interest and favor the likes, to where they say, hey, more than likely they suggest it to us, and we're like, you know what, I do like that. So they put it in front of us, not putting our own, like, friends or contacts or connections in our feed, because it hasn't garnered enough level to where they think it's going to be successful, because the end of the day for them is to keep you on the app, which we already know about that. So the dopamine trap is for when you're scrolling, but on the reverse side of it, it's that dopamine trap to say that I need to continue to appease the people that like my videos. And so I'm going to say to you, if you're thinking you need to like your video, let me do something real fast here. If you're thinking you need to appeal to the people that are liking your videos, you have it wrong. I'm telling you right now, you have it wrong. Those people, unless they say, they put in the comments, I'm so and so, or I believe in you, I use you, or they continue to rock with you, engage with you, and continue to lift your brand up, then you don't need to worry about any of those likes. Now, people subscribe and people like, and I appreciate it, but I realize I can't serve them, because I can't serve everybody. I'm not for everybody. I am not for the masses. I don't have a system for the masses. That's why I said earlier, if you're trying to go viral, you can go viral, but what is viral? Are you going to send them to your website? Are you going to cash in on something viral? We use these terms and these buzzwords to say, oh, I want everybody to see me, but you just need to be seen. Maybe you just need to be seen by your significant other, or a parent, or someone that is important in your life. You being seen in the public, the flip side of that is people got their own views of what you should look like and what you do, which is why, when this social media comes, all this judgment, all this low self-esteem, and it creates a ripple effect, to where they say, because of social media, in particular Instagram, there's been an uptick in suicide with teenage girls. That's the unfortunate side of it. It is, the other piece to it is, it's a false sense of success. When you use social media, these vanity metrics, as the success metric dashboard, you're chasing that level of, oh, I want to get to this, what this person does or what that person does. You don't know what they have behind the camera. All you see is them. You don't know where they're at. You don't know how much money has been put into their stuff. You don't know how they had help and support. You don't know who's giving them backing. You don't know if they have another gig. You don't know. So you're sitting there believing that you want this level of success and this is their benchmark. They may be sitting on some stuff that you have no idea, right? And let's use the Kardashians. They've had money. They've been had money. They continue to leverage their money, their name, their connections, where they live. I'm sorry, you can't be from a small town like Vancouver, Washington, and I can compete with someone who lives in LA. That is a completely different vibe, and you're already going to have the environment where I can't take you outside. It's rainy. But if you're in LA, it's not, right? It's a different feel. It's a different look. And that's going to attract more people than not. So if you're using those people to gas you up and to fuel you, it's going to put you in a negative spot. So the last thing I'm going to say is, when we are looking at the absolute necessary metrics to put you on the right path, it should be, are you posting regular content? Very simple. This is for you, not for anyone else. Are you posting simple content? And I got Thomas. S6M7R. Hey, what's up? This said hi. I'm saying hi to you. So, are you posting content for you, and are you doing it consistently? There's the other side of the algorithm of these platforms, and every platform is different. The platforms will reward you if you stay on their app. Now, as a marketer, we have tools to where we can post things not being on the app. We just connect the systems, the platforms to the major platform, and the APIs will allow us to connect, and we don't ever have to go on that app. In some ways, you can call that cheating, but in another way, in business, we call that efficiency. So we're posting content that is to get people to come through our system because we, as marketers, that's how we get to pay our bills. But as a business, if we are not able to get clients in the door or customers to buy things, we will go out of business. Content today, content is now created to bring the people to us. We're done with, we're not completely done, I'm just exaggerating here, but from where people used to use billboards, it works, but not like it used to, right? We don't use newspapers or magazines, right? Let's just say print media. It's still out there, but not, it doesn't work like it used to. We used to have PR like television shows. It used to work, but not like it used to. Like, for example, like the day of Oprah, or man, I will say the Ricky Lake show, like the Ellen show, like what now you have the Jennifer Hudson, her show, right? You think like, oh, if I go on these shows, it's going to make it. I had to tell someone the entertainers for the Super Bowl at halftime, they do not get paid. They do not get paid, which is why you saw Rihanna just become a billionaire. I don't know the details. I shouldn't say those numbers, but Rihanna, look, she was promoting her makeup line. Usher, he put out his new CD. Kendrick was just Kendrick, right? And Bad Bunny's going to come out next. So these things are not what you think they are, because the whole purpose of putting out content is to get people through the door to become the customers. Now, once you get them for your customer, now you got to retain them as a customer. So you got to continuously putting out the content, and the content is just to get them there. But what you start to see and what you need to start looking at is where are people telling you that they love, because you want to retain them and give those people what they want. Those people are your faithful loyals. They are followers. And we call, I forget the person who created it, but the CBBE model, the customer brand based equity, where people start to follow you and are loyal no matter how bad you do. They're like, look, I still love them for who they are, and I'm going to rock with these people because you already converted. You didn't use no vanity metrics. You didn't use a social media dashboard to run your company. They said, look, that's great and all, but here are the metrics we're going to use. And they may call them KPIs. That's one terminology we use. KPIs stand for key performance indicators, but it's the business objective to say, once they get through the door, now we're going to treat them this way. A lot of folks that say, well, I'm going to post content, just post content, but then that's it. That's not the business model that works for people. You go to any professional sports game, you pay those tickets immediately when you walk in the door. You're going to have the ambiance and get the experience of where you are like, wow, I am excited, and yet you haven't yet seen the game, right? And depending on where you sit and how much money you spend on the tickets, you will be treated differently. And more than likely, if you have a great time, I can't say when or you will, because everyone's different, right? The goal is to make everyone happy so that they can continue to offer you that ticket, and maybe it's the season ticket, right? The regular season ticket where no matter what, you're faithful and you will always support your team. Like I support my Chicago Bears. I don't have no season tickets. I don't live near Chicago. They're not anywhere close, but that's still my team, and I rock with them. And sometimes I buy their stuff, and sometimes I don't. But that's because they haven't 100% won me over, and that's a whole nother story. But I am a faithful customer to them, as in loyalty, but not in spending money. And that's how And there are plenty of people that are, and we have 32 NFL teams. We have, I think, what, 32 NBA teams. We have hockey, we have baseball, but sports is the perfect example. I love using sports as a business because when you look at their business, it's more than getting the people in the door. If you're just looking at getting people in the door, as in I'm posting content and I'm gonna go popular so I can go viral and I can become an influencer and people will love me. That's not a business. That's a dream. That's a fantasy. That's how you think things work. But that's not it at all. What you don't see is all the behind the scenes and all of the business model work that has been put in place. And I'm grateful now. Some people are showing the behind the scenes and how long it takes, the cameras that it takes, the mics that it takes, the storyboarding that it takes. Now people are showing you, but stop using the vanity metrics because they're not using that. They can leverage that to say, yes, you want me because I have this many followers, this many eyeballs. But what's more important is they can say, not only do I have that many followers, those people show up, right? Taylor Swift is the perfect example of how I have this many people that support me. And no matter what, I don't need you. I don't need you because I've done it myself. And I know when I do something, they will support me. That is not vanity metrics. That is a sound business model. And that's because she took the time to develop from her content to her persona. I mean, and look how many people have done that. Michael Jackson did that before we had social media, but he did that through just his records and his tours and everything. So again, vanity metrics can lie to you if you want it to lie. If you want to feel special, sure, you can use those vanity metrics. And if you're just posting content, then so be it. Have fun. If you're using it for a business, that's where it's going to be a diabolical death. And I am sorry. I'm sorry that you thought that was important. But now you know, so I'm not sorry. So do better. If you need help, you can reach out to me. Send me a comment. You can also go to my website, which is ndubbrand.com, or I have my other website, nwebsterllc.com. I'd be more than happy to talk with you, schedule a consultation to see if we would be a good fit. But this is where if it's not me, go get help from somebody else. Don't just use you. Don't blow up your head thinking I don't need marketing. Marketing is essential for your growth. Marketing is the only way companies grow. When people say, "Oh, I don't need marketing," or "I can do it by yourself," well, if you're doing marketing, who's going to do the job that you're supposed to do? That's why I think it's funny of when we say, "Oh, we're gonna look at all that I'm doing," and it's not funny, but I have to say that it's funny because it's like, okay, you'll learn. Because you know what? I'm saying this out of experience. I've had people come back to say, "All right, I'm here ready to listen." I'll say this and I get on out of here because I had this one client. They're still a client today, matter of fact, but I remember going to them based off a referral. It was a banking referral, so they were like, "Oh, my client needs help." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Sat down with them. We had a great conversation, and they were like, "Well, what I've been doing has been working, and I'm grateful for it." Now, at the time, I didn't know that they just didn't have a lot of cash flow to pay other services, and there was not. I don't want to give out too much information, but they thought they had it right. So I was like, cool. So 5 years later, guess who came knocking at our door? And it's not any shade. Was it 5 years? No, I think it was like 3. It was 3. It's not any shade against them. It's just after a while, when your business is starting to grow, you don't have time for marketing. You don't have time for marketing. You don't have time for legal. You don't have time for accounting. You don't have time for any other services than the service and product that you provide. In the beginning, you have to do all these things, but as you continue to grow, you don't have time. So this is something you have to delegate. And just because you see that, like, oh man, it starts to get worse when they say, "Oh shoot, look at all the people that are now engaging with me because they're interested. Now I need something to respond back to them, but I can't do it because I'm over here doing this and I got to do this over here. I need help." Yeah, I told you that was going to happen. If you have a great product and great service and you're giving the people what they want, sooner or later, you're going to see that it's not going to be what you think is going to be, where you could do it all. And I'm that's speaking me out of experience. So I'm telling you, vanity metrics can be a lie. But if that's all you care about, like, look, I just want to see as many people I can get. God bless you, and I wish you nothing but the best. For those that want more, hit me up. I'd be more than happy to help you. So dream big and Godspeed. I'm out.